Flemington Race 1 is the Carbine Club Stakes for the 3-year-olds. It's over 1,600 metres. My numbers are 2, 1, 3 and 7. 2 is Stylish Secret, who just didn't quicken around the tight Mini Valley track, but charged late behind Evaporate and beat the third horse clearly onto a bigger track here at Flemington and beat a couple of subsequent winners. 6 weeks off, back to the mile. I think he can run well at a price though. Froche, well, he split Private Life and Evaporate, beat home Broadsiding in that Caulfield Guineas. It's terrific form. It was his first go at 1,600. He maps for a good trail again. Acting on Verba won the maiden well in good time and beat a key rival here, King of Enterprise, who then won, led against the pattern latest and ran really well, beat Allborough Promising Filly. And Canara was good against the pattern latest, not out of this. 2, 1, 3, 7. Flemington Race 2 is the Group 2 Vanity Stakes for the fillies. It's over 1,400. My numbers are 7, 14, 5 and 10. 7 is Matisse. Lovely late work at Moonee Valley, fresh 1,200. They just got a mile back at Caulfield against the pattern of the day, yet made up really good ground. I like the blinkers going on here third up with Blake Shin taking over. I think she's the overs in a really tough race. Chewing Gum won like a smart filly on debut, just ridden a bit too warm for mine second go. And went back latest weave through, rushed home. Back out to 1,400, she can win. Zaytung covered a lot of ground last start and kept closing. It was a terrific effort from her. And lovely cut, savaged the line first up, again against the pattern of the day. 7, 14, 5 and 10. Flemington Race 3 is the rising fast for the sprinters, 1,200 metres. My numbers are 6, 3, 11 and 9. 6 is Schwartz. He resumes off a let-up. He was wide, yet too good for Arctic Glamour, who then ran well in an Epsom off a similar break in August. Sat handy in a recent trial and won very well. It was excellent work. He may well have tested Jolie Star with any luck last April. It's a good horse. Spacewalk, rock solid first up with his big weight. He won this race last year off a similar fresh run. He handles the straight really well. He's in well relative weights today. Ray Magnerio's flying this prep. He ran similar closing splits to Jimmy Star, who won again fresh. Then back to 1,000 was probably a bit costly latest, yet he charged home. He's proven up the straight. And who dares? Form all ties in. He's a very genuine horse. He's in the mix. 6, 3, 11, 9. Flemington Race 4 is the Group 2 Damen Oliver over 1,400 metres, and a good little race. Numbers are 2, 5, 1 and 7. 2 is Another Will. I can forgive his miss last start. He was pressured all the way. His 2 wins prior in this prep were outstanding. He can tie his form in through Run Harry Run against key rival here, Jimmy Star. I'm expecting him to hit back hard today. Jimmy Star has come back to racing in brilliant fashion. Fastest closing splits of the day first up, then quickly to 1,400 second up and won again, and he defied the pattern of the day. Ulysses trialled really well into this prep, weaved through and ran over them. It was an excellent return. He's unbeaten second up this horse, and including his last second up when he beat home key rival here, Jimmy Star. And Nicolini Vito likes Flemington, like him back to 1,400. 2, 5, 1, 7. Flemington Race 5 is the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes for the fillies. It's over 2,000 metres. My numbers are 5, 2, 4 and 10. 5 is Powers of Opal. Oh, she was a dominant maiden win latest. I don't think she was ideally suited leading in a Group 1 prior to that, yet she wasn't far off Harlem Queen, who was so good last week in Sydney against the males. I think she'll relish 2,000 metres. Treasure of the Moment, good filly. Liked the way she responded to riding to beat the handy one in Acton on Verba at 1,600 at Caulfield. That 3-year-old ran earlier today for a form reference. She's back to her own sex here, and a danger. In Her Eyes covered a lot of ground at the Valley, ran really well, and Inevitable Truth was terrific against the pattern last start. 5, 2, 4, 10. Flemington Race 6 is the Group 1 Comore Stud Stakes for the 3-year-olds. It's over 1,200 metres. My numbers are 1, 3, 5 and 13. 1 is Growing Empire, who gave his all in the Everest. He broke clear at the Valley prior to that in the Manikato. Somehow was run down on the line. And he's back to his own age group here. He's unbeaten this prep against 3-year-old Company. If he's got another big grand final in him, he's going to take a power of beating. Traffic Warden, terrific return. Ran time, then bloused by Broadsiding in a Group 1 Golden Rose. He was well liked in that Everest, but unfortunately scratched at the gates. He's a danger. Switzerland, I think ridden too warm first up. Colder ride last time, very strong through the line. Has more upside perhaps than a few this prep. And Lady of Camelot was right with Growing Empire in that Everest. Must have a case. 1, 3, 5, 13. Flemington Race 7 is the Group 1 VRC Derby for the 3-year-olds, of course, over 2,500. My numbers are 8, 1, 11 and 2. 8's King of Thunder. He was back and wide, a long way from home around the Valley last week against a slow speed. He didn't quicken around that track, but once he balanced up, he was very strong late. He had Vianara safely held behind him. That horse was really competitive in a Caulfield Guineas prior to that. He gets Gate 1 here and James McDonald. El Costello, 4 for 4 this prep. Loved the fight to win the Spring Champion Stakes last start, beating Henlean, who was so good behind Evaporate. The form's outstanding. Obviously, an interstate trip, a wide barrier, and up in trip. They are challenges for him, but he brings in the best form. Trying to see, much better last start. He savaged the line. He just missed by a bob of the head. I think he'll stay. And Red Aces just keeps improving. 8-1-11-2. Flemington Race 8 is the Group 1 Empire Rose for the fillies and the mares. It is set weight 1600 metres. My numbers 1, 3, 2 and 13. 1 is a tissue, back, race tight at a key stage, but I loved the finale in the Caulfield Stakes last start. She zoomed late. She was excellent, second to Pride of Jenny in this race last year against the track bias that day. She's very much suited at weight for age. Orchestral, the new season 4-year-old mare, shuffled back right out of the race in the Toorak. By the time she was clear, the race was gone as she found the line really sweet. They like the blinkers going on. Speaking of blinkers, they go on Amelia's Jewel here. It might be the key to her. The last time she was at 1600, she ran over Pride of Jenny and broke the track record. Her last start was good and she's going well. Plenty of ammo is the one on that upward trajectory, and I want to include her as well. 1, 3, 2, 13. Flemington Race 9 is the Furphy Sprint, 1200 metres for the girls, and a competitive finish it is. Numbers 7, 19, 17 and 15. I think 7 Infancy is a terrific value play. Got a long way back. Randwick last start zoomed home. She was the only horse all day to break 11 seconds her last 200. She looked about ready to launch prior when her luck ran out. She's going really well, and so might be the overs. Pandaloe, what a return from her, running fast time. And big finish at Caulfield to just miss. They gapped the rest of them and drawn out wide here to swoop on them late. Isthmus was beaten by Pandaloe last start, but a wet track didn't help, and plus she pulled up with some lameness. She can hit back hard here. And Ferrari flying this prep. Next best, 7, 19, 17, 15.